Okay, we're talking about wedding soup because you are a bride-to-be very soon.
Yes, girl, it's wedding season and I'm getting married this Saturday.
Yes.
So I'm big on themes. I thought today it'd be cute to just kind of celebrate me getting married.
Of course. So before we start, we've got to talk about the wedding and the groom.
Yes.
I know you're so excited.
Yes, my groom, his name is Adam. There's a picture of us right there. We work together at Farm Fresh. We are third generation taking over the family business. So it's pretty cool. But I did have to let everybody know that Farm Fresh will be closing at 2 o'clock this Friday.
Of course.
And we will be closed all day Saturday.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So just in case you need something, better go ahead and get it early Friday or maybe this week.
All of my family works there. So naturally, we have to be closed.
Yes.
But yeah, so today I thought it'd be great to make Italian wedding soup.
I'm okay with that. I love soup.
Wedding soup is an Italian, or it's minestrata maritata. I probably butchered that. But that in Italian.
Farm Fresh.
Right?
You just did great.
That in Italian means wedding soup, which is a marriage of the meat and the greens and the broth and all of that stuff. So I brought some meatballs that I have already pre-made. Now these meatballs we actually sell at Farm Fresh.
And they look delicious.
Thank you. I make them myself. They're a beef and pork mixture. They have ricotta cheese and Parmesan cheese and parsley, egg, breadcrumb, and they're a little bite-sized.
Yeah, and so they would be good in maybe spaghetti, another dish that you're making at home.
They're just a good traditional Italian meatball.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put it over egg noodles with a cream sauce and have Swedish meatballs.
Yum!
Meatball sub. You can get really creative with it.
That's right.
But today we are just going to put this soup together super duper quick like. So what I've got going on over here is I've just got some homemade chicken broth. I'm all about doing everything from scratch.
Yeah.
That's going to come to a boil, and we're going to let that kind of sit for a little bit. And then in the second segment, we're just going to put all this stuff together. And in the third segment, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to finish it with some Parmesan and
we can
olive
eat
oil.
it. Yeah. That's right. Okay, so what's the latest at Farm Fresh going on with you guys?
Well, we just wrapped up Sausage Festival last week.
That is so busy for y'all.
That was awesome. So now we are actually starting to take a lot of wild game that people have saved up.
Yeah.
So we're doing wild game processing. Our retail market is always super duper busy.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go along with the wedding theme here too. I wanted to tell everybody that Farm Fresh can help with weddings.
Oh.
So we do whole smoked hogs, which are really
which you brought
popular
here on Studio 10
a couple times
Not
ago.
only was it so delicious, you guys, really, truly, probably the best hog I've ever had, but it feeds so many people.
It does. It's great for parties. It's a showstopper kind of thing. People walk up and are like, whoa, whole hog. Also, we do all types of different smoked meats. So a lot of people like to have carving stations at weddings. We do whole smoked prime ribs, smoked tenderloins. We do Boston butts, briskets, beef roast, ribs, you name it. We can help you with whatever main course you want to serve at your wedding.
Alrighty, well you can get prepared for your party or wedding here at Farm Fresh, and coming up we'll be finishing this soup and I'll get to try it out in the third segment. Joe? That's right, Joe. Back with Erin from Farm Fresh Meats, and for viewers who may just be tuning in, what are we making today?
Today we are celebrating wedding season.
Of course, because she will be married in 4 days.
And I'm making Italian wedding soup, which is just some beautiful little meatballs that we make at Farm Fresh that you can go into the store and pick up today.
They are
make
beautiful.
This super simple. Thank you. They're a beef and pork mixture. They've got some ricotta, some eggs, some breadcrumbs, some grated onions, some parsley, some garlic, of course.
I'm getting hungry. Now, for the folks at home too, can also go to Farm Fresh if they're needing help making maybe some homemade chicken broth.
Right. So on the weekends, we do all types of different smoked meats. This is a homemade chicken broth that I made with a rotisserie chicken carcass. So I picked all the meat off of the chicken itself, put the bones into a pot with some water, covered it, celery, onion, carrot, bay leaf, salt, pepper.
Yeah.
And then I just let it go for like 4 hours.
And it smells so good.
After the 4 hours, you pull out all the veggies, the chicken, strain it really good, and you're left with a delicious chicken broth.
Right.
And I wanted to tell you, so if you're afraid that your chicken broth doesn't have enough flavor, this is something that I have grown very fond of. It's called Better Than Bouillon, and this is a roasted garlic Better Than Bouillon. And it's a very concentrated paste that just gives really good flavor to anything.
Now, how many spoonfuls do you recommend adding?
I would just start with like a half of a spoonful.
And kind of taste it?
Yeah, because like I said, it's really, really concentrated, and you don't really want to mask the flavor of the meatballs and the Parmesan and all that stuff. So we're at the stage now, Chelsea, where we have our broth at a rolling boil. So I'm going to go ahead and add our pasta, which is little ditalini pasta.
Yeah.
Just little babies like this.
Great size.
And we're going to put the meatballs in first and the pasta, and we're going to cook that for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to add the spinach at the end.
And soup is a perfect meal for a day like today. A little groggy outside, wet, so
it's a little nasty.
You need something to warm you up before the sunshine that's coming tomorrow.
That's right, and I've been looking at Michael White and been talking to him. I think he's hiding from me, but I want the weather to be good for Saturday.
Hey, right now it is looking A-okay.
I'm hoping, I'm praying.
I know, so I think it's going to be good. So the wedding planning, we've got to talk about that.
Wedding planning.
That's a talent in itself.
That is something that I have found to be a little difficult.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a perfectionist like me. I want everything to be perfect, you know. But it's also been really, really rewarding because now I'm here at the finishing stages and I see everything coming together, and it's just super duper exciting. I feel like as a side job, maybe I could be a little wedding planner.
I feel like you could do. I feel like you do a great job, and hey, maybe help cater too.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I went ahead and added the meatballs, and I just added our pasta. Now, the last time I was here, we did pasta too, and I emphasized that it is really important that you do not overcook your pasta. So the ditalini should go for about 7 minutes, and then you want to turn your soup off because you don't want the pasta to become mushy. Right. And that's something that can happen, especially if it's sitting in a broth for a long period of time. You really want to just kind of undercook it, because then it will actually keep the texture that you want it to keep.
I'm learning so much right now about pasta.
And look, you match my wedding colors.
I know, I did that on purpose.
It's so perfect.
I just knew, but I am so excited for you for Saturday, but also excited to try this soup as well. So when we come back, we'll be finishing everything up.
That's right. We're gonna put our spinach in the mixture. We're going to top it with some Parmesan and some olive oil and serve it with a little crostini on the side.
And then my lunch will be served.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we'll be right back checking on that weather now with Michael and Joe.
And we are so excited to have Erin here with us from Farm Fresh Meats because this is a very special week. If you haven't heard already, she is getting married this weekend.
I sure am. I'm so excited.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
There's a picture of you and your husband-to-be. What's his name again?
That is Adam. My last name will be Salyers now.
Awesome.
And we work together at Farm Fresh. So it is important that I do let people know that we will be closing at 2 o'clock this Friday, and we will be closed this Saturday for the big event.
I think that's understandable. That's allowed. That's okay. Meanwhile, though, you're making us a great recipe, so if you're closed but they want to work on something, they could follow this. Tell the folks what you've been working on.
Today I am making an Italian wedding soup to go along with the wedding theme here, and I have pre-made meatballs that we make at Farm Fresh, a beef and pork mixture that we keep frozen, so you can pop into the store, get yourself some meatballs, and literally put this together in like 5 minutes.
Super quick, super fast, and super delicious. So that all looks good. Do we want to try to plate one up here?
I would love to do that. You know, I feel like I didn't do too terribly much cooking today, but that's kind of the beauty of this, is that it's something that is super duper easy and not intimidating whatsoever.
Well, that's what people like to see is lots of times there's something intricate that's really great that they want to set aside some time and try, and then a lot of times everybody's on the go, they want something quick. So it just depends on what mood and what time you have.
That is right. So here we are, Joe, and you know that your soup is done and that your meatballs are done once they float to the top of your broth here.
What a great tip that is.
And like I was telling Chelsea earlier, you don't want to overcook this pasta because it will be sitting in the broth and it will continue to absorb all of that liquid. And as you can see, we've got the spinach and the meatballs and the ditalini pasta. And the term Italian wedding soup is really just about the marriage of all of these ingredients coming together.
That's cool.
And so I thought it would just be very fitting with what we've got going on this week.
Well, speaking of, it is your big day coming up, but you want to let folks know that Farm Fresh Meats can be a part of their big day as well. You really do have some phenomenal options for people who are having a wedding here locally.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people are looking for like a showstopper piece at their reception. So we do whole smoked hogs. We do a lot of those right now. during wedding season. Yeah, they are really, really good, and they're super easy because the meat just falls apart. There's not a real like science behind it. You just pull it and eat it. We do whole smoked prime ribs, whole smoked tenderloins. We do beef roast, briskets, Boston butts, ribs. The options are really endless, and if there's something that we don't normally do, if you ask us, we probably can make it happen. Yeah,
they can make it happen for you. This is all great. I can't wait to try this out once it cools down a little bit. Topping it with some Parmesan?
Well, I think some fresh Parmesan is just naturally Italian. It's going to make it a little cheesy. There's some cheese in our meatballs already, but never hurts to have a little bit of extra fresh parm on there.
It's my favorite cheese.
Mine too. And then I got this beautiful finishing olive oil. So this is not an olive oil that you cook with. It's just one that you kind of finish any dish that you want to with. Then I'm going to drizzle on top. That'll give it some nice fruity flavor.
That looks great.
And then made a little crostini that we're going to put here on the side. And now it's time to go to Italian Wedding Soup Town.
Italian Wedding Soup Town. That's what it's time for. This weekend it's time for your wedding. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of our family here on Studio 10, and so happy that you're starting your new family moving forward.
Thank you so much. You guys are great to me.
All right, we'll be right back with more Studio 10 after this. Got to try this out. Get the spoon.